Hey, hello, this is Austin Thompson, City Councilman, Lawrenceville City Council, Post 3. That's right, I am live recording here from Savannah, the Westin Harbor Hotel in Savannah. I'm here for 4 days of training, municipal training. This is the training that the mayor and city council members and city clerks, city managers, assistant city managers, the city attorneys, and everyone who is affiliated with city leadership. This is what we do every year. This year I'm focused on building bridges between cities and colleges, economic development, and of course financial transparency and control, and transportation, as well as data centers for municipalities. It's been a wonderful experience so far. I've got another 2 days to go. But one other interesting thing, today I got a call from the AJC. They wanted an interview with me, and it was a great interview. They asked me to explain my platform and tell them a little bit about myself, I just wanted to reiterate, my love for being on the city council. But I also want to express that, hey, another 4 years is needed, because, all that we do as far as policy setting as council members, as the legislative body of Lawrenceville, 4-year term is just not enough. Sometimes you need an additional term to accomplish and complete what you started. Entrepreneurship, support for our small business community is right at my heart. Making sure that not only our small business owners and those operators in our city, but also women-owned businesses. And this is what I explained to the AJC. Women-owned businesses are the fastest rising segment of entrepreneurs in our country. But we continue to see a lack of support and funding for our women-owned businesses. So I want to make sure that I'm communicating that with our state legislators in my next term, and to place more emphasis on seeking funding for women-owned businesses. And as we see in the nation, we're rolling back the diversity, equity, and inclusion in terms of funding and support. I want to make sure that our minority businesses, our disadvantaged businesses, those classified as disadvantaged because of their minority status, I want to make sure that they're getting the support that they need in order to continue growing successfully. Black-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses, our Asian-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veterans-owned businesses, especially our veterans. We really need to make sure that our veterans are being supported. The other thing, affordable housing, making sure that, as a city councilman, to continue what I've already started, bringing that to the table as a form of discussions and implementation. I want to make sure that we as a city can implement a 5 to 10% affordable housing recommendation for every development that comes in front of our city. I want to support one of my council counterparts who want to see that transformed into an ordinance. We really need to put a focus on affordable housing in our city. Young people are graduating from college and they have to go back and live with their parents or a legal guardian, because they just can't afford to buy a house out of college. They can't afford to even rent an apartment, because the cost of living is high. So I want to make sure that we are putting that focus, just like when I sat down with our city attorney and city assistant attorney to discuss the rate at which rents are being increased, to see if we can cap the rents in our city. But unfortunately, that's something that we can't do. But my focus in that case is making sure that we are putting a focus on making housing affordable for residents in our city and for those who wish to live in our city. Okay, economic development. I want to see more livable wage jobs being created in the city of Lawrenceville. I started that also in my first 4 years. I have introduced discussion on creating a tech village in the city of Lawrenceville, kind of like what Norcross has as far as their Atlanta Tech Park. I think we have a great opportunity to see that materialized in the city of Lawrenceville. So I want to make sure that we're having that conversation. We have Northside Gwinnett Hospital. We can create a workspace for companies that are in the process of creating biotechnology implementation, biotechnology, healthcare technology, medical technology, but jobs like that, our companies like that bring high-paying jobs, bring jobs that are paid, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 a year, right, for their engineers and for their medical staff, medical technology support staff. So I want to see those things implemented. Affordable housing, economic development, entrepreneurship, and support for our small business community. These are some of the things I discussed with the AJC. Of course, there's a whole set of platform points that I can discuss on this video, but this is what I'll do. If you log on to Vote for Austin Thompson, www.voteforaustinthompson.com, voteforaustinthompson.com, and you can see my vision plan. The one thing the reporter said, just in case I didn't get a chance to talk with you, I read your vision plan, and he sat through my 51-minute interview. And he learned a lot about me from the interview and the vision plan. And it proves that it serves its purpose, right? Because it's not every day you'll probably get a chance to sit and talk with me to get, my ideas and my thoughts for running for office, running for re-election, of course. But if you went to my campaign website and you look through my vision plan and you're able to view my interview video, you get a lot of information about Austin Thompson. You get a lot of information about my why and why I'm running. I'm running for you. I'm running to represent you. I'm running to make sure that representative democracy continues on the City Council of Lawrenceville. If you pay taxes in the city of Lawrenceville, whether it's occupational tax or residential tax, and you have to remember, I voted no on occupational tax and on the millage rate increase that would have increased tax on the residents, right? I voted no on tax increases in the city for both residents and business owners, because I know when I sat down with business owners and when I sat down with residents, they said, we don't want to see taxes raised in our city. Now, I understand that as a municipality, we need revenue. We need to raise revenue in order to fund many of the services and programs for our residents and business owners. But we really have to take a look in other areas where we can find that money in order to fund those programs. Raising taxes on our residents and raising taxes on our business owners is just not the solution, right? Not right now. Not when businesses are still struggling to come out from under COVID, and those who had to, maybe close for a little while and reopen, they saw a great reduction in revenue and a great reduction in customers and residents who are dealing with the high cost of living already, high cost of gas at the gas pump. You're going into the grocery stores, you see increased costs for milk and eggs and bread and cheese and meat, the basic necessities, right? Rents continuing to raise. So we have to make sure that we take care of our residents. And representative democracy is having a democratic system in which we as elected officials, we represent the people. And that's what I have done for the last 4 years. I have represented the people. I have made sure I made myself available. I made sure that you had access to me. Whether it was a phone call, a text message, an email, coffee with Councilman Thompson, going on his 4th year successfully, the 1st and 3rd Saturday of every month. The AJC reporter said, hey, that's really a great idea, So it's just another way in which I create ways for you to connect with me. Going forward, between now and election day, I want you to get in touch with me. You know where to find me. All of my information is available. I want you to call me. I want you to text me. I want you to schedule a time to meet with me because I am accessible. I deserve another 4 years to represent you because that is what I have done for the past 4 years. I have made sure that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a mainstay with the city because we have been recognized for being a city that observes DEI. So diversity in thought and perspectives, diversity in philosophical ideas, I want to make sure that we continue to see that on the city council. Inclusion, I want to make sure that everybody is included in what we're planning and what we're implementing in the city. And equity, it has to be equitable because what we set as policy has to really be equal for everybody, right? Because that's what representative democracy is all about. Representative democracy is having a democratic system of having a democracy in which the people are represented, in which policy is set for the people. Representation is for the people, not the system, but for the people. And I have done that the past 4 years, and this is why I am humbly asking all of you for your vote on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 at City Hall. Austin Thompson, Lawrenceville City Council. I will continue working for you, our constituents. Thank you so much. I've got to get back to classes. I got a whole lot more to learn. All right. Thank you so much. You all enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.